Hello everybody, this is your main man Keith here from Keith Plays PS4 927. Happy Monday afternoon to all my awesome viewers on this awesome channel. We are in game 2 of the NBA Finals for our Minnesota Timberwolves Series 1 Road to the NBA Finals 2K22. And we are leading this series over the Cleveland Cavaliers 1-0. So we won big time last episode, which I will have the link to the video in the description if you guys want to check that episode out if you have not already. So from what I recall, the final score from last episode was was evidently 113 to 57. So Malik Beasley had 40 points in game 1. That made him the player of the game. He has been the main contributor to the T-Wolves ever since Karl Anthony Towns got injured in game 3 of the Western Conference first round. So we're going to show you the uniforms and we'll see you at tip-off. Alright, so the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to be wearing their navy blue icon uniforms in the 216 and 440. And for the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're going to be wearing their classic orange throwback uniforms from 1983 through 1987. So we're going to see you guys at tip-off. Alright, it is tip-off time here in Northeast Ohio. And it is Naz Reid against Kevin Love. So now it is Darius Garland with the possession of the basketball. Going to pass it over to Cedi Osman. As Cedi Osman has possession, now it's Jared Vanderbilt making that steal. Going to pass it over to Malik Beasley. And he is going to make the slam for the Cavs as it's for the T-Wolves as it's now 2-0 Minnesota. Alright, it is 3-2 since Kevin Love made a 3 during that short break. I had to take a few seconds for a pause because I was trying to adjust my brightness on my phone so that you guys can see the screen here. So now Anthony Edwards makes that 3 throw happen. It's now 5-3. Timberwolves lead it, so now it is Darius Garland with the possession of the basketball, and it's now Anthony Edwards making that steal, and he is going to make that dunk happen, so it's now 7-3. This is the NBA Finals. Anything can happen. It could either be a 5-game, 4-game, 6-game, or 7-game situation, so now Darius Garland makes a dunk happen as it's now 7-5. And now they're going to pass it over to Malik Beasley. So now Malik Beasley, he is going to make a 3 fly from behind the arc. So it's now going to be 10-5. So we're leading this by halfway. And now Darius Garland, he's going to pass it over to Isaac Okoro. Garland is going to pick up the assist there. And now it is D'Angelo Russell, the OSU product, going to make that dunk happen in the paint. So it's now 12-7. And the T-Wolves are up by 5 at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland. So now Darius Garland going to pass over to Isaac Okoro and then off to Kevin Love. Gets it in there. So it's now 12-9. And D'Angelo Russell's going to do a crossover. There is a foul. D'Angelo Russell has a charging foul. And he charged it on Cedi Osman. So Colin Sexton, the Alabama product, has possession. He's going to pass it over to Evan Mobley. Mobley gets it in there, so it's now 12-11. So I'm going to pass it over to Anthony Edwards. And Edwards actually gets that in safely, so it's now 14-11. And it's now Colin Sexton going to pass it over to Mobley again. And I'm just going to pass it over to D'Angelo Russell momentarily. And we get this in, and we're going to take a break. All right, and now Lowry Marketing scores it in. So it's now 18-16. So the Cavs are taking their first lead of the game. So now Patrick Beverley, he gets blocked by Lowry Marketing. So now Lamar Stevens going to pass it over to Colin Sexton. So now Lamar Stevens is going to pick up the assist there. And it is Patrick Beverley going to pass it over to Jalen Howell. And then Jaden McDaniels going to pass it over a little bit, then use some Patrick Beverly, make that three happen, and it's now 28.7 seconds to go. And it's Ricky Rubio battling off against his former team, the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's had 2 stints with the team, and now Mobley gets it in there. Lauri Markkanen with the assist. So now we're going to pass it over to Taurean Prince. And now Taurean Prince, he's going to knock a 3 down from behind the arc. And it is tied even, 22 even. And now it is Colin Sexton with possession. And it looks like Sexton is going to make this one in. So it's now 24-22. And Jaden McDaniels, he is going to make it in before the buzzer beater hits. So it is tied even, 24-24. Alright, it is now 24-24, beginning of the second quarter. So now Jaden McDaniels, he is going to go in the paint for 2 points. So it's now tied up. Now, wait, no, it's not tied up. Now we take the 2-point lead. So now Ricky Rubio going to pass it over to Lauri Markkanen. So Rubio's going to pick up the assist. And Markkanen has 7 points in this episode. And he ties up the game. So now we're going to pass it over to Taurean Prince. And now Taurean Prince is going to make that dunk happen, as it's now 28-26. So this is what I like about the NBA Finals. It's the postseason. Everyone gets hyped up. Even if you're not the biggest NBA fan, it's still somewhat interesting to watch these two teams battle each other off to see who will claim the Larry O'Brien trophy. And now it is Patrick Beverly making it in the paint. So it's now 30-28. Ricky Rubio with the possession of the basketball. Where is he going to take it over to? Lauri Markkanen making that 3 splash. And it's now 30-31. And it looks like we're going to pass it over to Patrick Beverly. And then some Naz Reid making that layup happen. So it's now 32-31. Ricky Rubio with the possession of the basketball. And the Cavaliers take a timeout. Alright, so now Lauri Markkanen going to pass it over to Isaac Okoro. So Okoro gets this one in, ties this game up. And the biggest lead is Minnesota with 5, 10 lead changes, and 6 ties so far. So now Beasley's going to make this 3 happen. So it's now 41-38. Cedi Osman has possession of the basketball. I don't know if he's going to pass it over to Markkanen, and he will, making that dunk there. So it is now 41-40. So we're going to pass it over to Anthony Edwards. So now Edwards gets it in. And it's now 43-40. So 15 points today for Anthony Edwards. And now it is Lamar Stevens, number 8. He's going to go up in the paint there. He gets it in. So it's now 43-42. 51 seconds to go. And it is now D'Angelo Russell getting this one in. So it's now 45-42. The Cavaliers bench is outscoring the Minnesota Timberwolves bench by 9 points today, surprisingly. And it's mainly the effort of Lauri Markkanen. He is the leading scorer right now. He's going to pass it over to Isaac Okoro and then Cedi Osman. So now Osman's going to pass it over to Kevin Love. So Kevin Love, the UCLA man, gets it in. So it's now 45-44. So we're going to pass it over to D'Angelo Russell. So now D-Russ making that 3 happen. 22 seconds to go in the first half. And we are up by 4 points. So now they lose the basketball. Lauri Markkanen going to pick it up. Scores it in. And now there are 13.4 seconds to go. And it's now Malik Beasley getting this one in for 2. And it's now 50-46. And now Isaac Okoro has possession. And now it's Beasley getting this one in. Official review, but I do not think he's going to get it. And I think it might have been a 2-pointer, but we are going to make sure. So this half isn't over until the replay review is on. So 0.1 seconds. I think he released the ball. As soon as he got the ball in the hoop, it was already 0.0. And the replay center from Secaucus, New Jersey, I am probably going to say it's a no that he did get it in. So evidently, I was correct. It was a no. So we still lead by 2 points either way. All right, so I was wrong if I said 50 to 48. I meant 50 to 46. Lauri Markkanen had 17 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists in the first half. So he is currently the scoring leader for this Cavs team. And I could guarantee you, if he puts up this performance throughout the game, he's going to be player of the episode. So it's now 52 to 48. Josh Okogie going to pass it over to Jared Vanderbilt. As Jared Vanderbilt, he's going to make that in. So it's now 54 to 48. So now Darius Garland has possession of the basketball, losing it. Kevin Love picking it back up. And it's now Darius Garland going to pass it over to Kevin Love. Makes it in there. So it's now 54 to 50. Evidently, and we're going to pass it over to Jared Vanderbilt and then Josh Okogie and then Malik Beasley. We're going to try to make this 3 fly, and it goes out of bounds. The Cavaliers do have possession of the basketball, so I don't know if they subbed out anyone or not. And they did a minor depth chart substitution, so now Colin Sexton going to pass it over to Kevin Love. Gets it in there, so it's now 54 to 52. 10 lead changes, and the biggest lead was Minnesota by 6 points. And Malik Beasley gets it in there, so it's now 56 to 52. And we're going to take a break. All right, it is now 62 to 58. We're going to pass it over to Anthony Edwards and then Patrick Beverly. Going to pass it around to Jalen Nowell. And he misses that. So Ricky Rubio is going to pick up that rebound. And now it is Cedi Osman who makes that in there. So it's now 58 to 64. Both teams not doing bad at field goals. So they're at a B in field goal percentages today. So what I consider a B is 80% or above in field goals, which both teams are doing pretty well in field goal wise today. Kevin Love making that layup there, and it's now 66 to 60. 20 points for Kevin Love, 12 of which are in the paint today. And Markkanen and Love are still on it. So now Cedi Osman, what is he thinking about doing? Well, he passed it over to Markkanen, and he's making that 3 fly from behind the arc. So it's now a 7-point Cavaliers lead with 33 seconds to go. So now Anthony Edwards making that layup. So evidently, I'm thinking the Cavs are probably going to end up winning this episode because of the talent that Lauri Markkanen has. So now Markkanen makes that dunk happen. And it's now 71 to 64. We're going to pass it over to Jaden McDaniels and then Anthony Edwards getting it in there. So it's now 71 to 66. Kevin Love going to pass it over to the one and only Ricky Rubio. So now Rubio making that layup there. And it's now 73 to 66. So now Patrick Beverly getting this one in. So it's now 73 to 68. And Rubio, what is he going to do for the final seconds? He's going to make that 3 fly. And this will be the end of the third quarter score. And we hand it off to the Cavs. And this ends the third. So Cleveland is up by 8, 76 to 68 in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. All right, your State Farm assist. The game is coming right up. Colin Sexton passing it over to Kevin Love. So the Cleveland Cavaliers are winning this game by 8 points right now. And Ricky Rubio has possession of the basketball. He's going to pass it over to Kevin Love and then back to Ricky Rubio and then back to Kevin Love. I don't know where he's going to pass it otherwise. He's going to pass it over to Isaac Okoro. gets it in there for 2 points. So it's now 78 to 68. It's a double-digit lead for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So we're going to pass it over to D-Russ. Will he make it in from 3? Yes, he will. It's now 78 to 71. Colin Sexton with the basketball. We're going to pass it over to Isaac Okoro. And it looks like Isaac Okoro gets this one in for 2. So it's now 80 to 71. And now Malik Beasley has 12 points. And Isaac Okoro has 8. Jaden McDaniels popping a 3 from behind the arc. So it's now 80 to 74. Now it is Ricky Rubio with possession. Going to pass it over to Colin Sexton. Rubio with the assist. So now I'm going to pass it over to Jared Vanderbilt. Makes that dunk happen. So it's now 82-76. And Ricky Rubio has possession of the basketball. Now he doesn't. And it goes out of bounds. So the Cavs have possession of the basketball. Evidently. So now it looks like that Colin Sexton's going to pass it over to Darius Garland. There's a foul. It's on D'Angelo Russell. It's a second reach-in foul. And it is Colin Sexton going to pass it over to Evan Mobley. So he's going to get this one in for 2 points. So now 84-76. I'm going to pass it over to Jared Vanderbilt. Actually, Malik Beasley while I'm at it. So I'm going to make this from 3. And it's now 79-84. So the Cavs are on top of it right now. There are almost less than 3 minutes to go. And it's now 86-79. I'm going to pass it over to Naz Reid. And then goes out of bounds. The Cavs have possession. And we are actually going to take a break. All right, Lauri Markkanen is your player of the game. I will explain the numbers after the game. But now we are still on break. I just wanted to show this to make you guys somewhat surprised of who the player of the game is in the NBA Finals. Alright, so it's now 81-91 with 1:30 to go. Malik Beasley is going to make this one in for 2 points. So it's now 91-83. So the Cavaliers, they are still up on their feet, willing to dribble the basketball. And Okoro going to pass it over to Ed Davis, getting that one in. So it's now a double-digit lead for the Cavs, and D'Angelo Russell makes that dunk there. So this is the NBA Finals. Anything can be possible. This is what people like to see. It's viewed by millions of Americans each and every year because great superstars play out for the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Over the last few years, it's been the Cavs and the Warriors that have reigned that dynasty, that have been battling off. Over the last few years since LeBron James had left Cleveland, it's been the Lakers, Heat, Raptors, Warriors, Bucks, and Suns that have made the NBA Finals. So now Isaac Okoro, what is he going to do? Going to pass it over to Lauri Markkanen. And now Isaac Okoro making that layup happen. So it's now 87-98. I'm going to pass it over to Naz Reid. We're going to try to drill a 3 with the words Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. So it's 36 seconds to go. They're going to pass it over to Okoro, or passing it over to Ed Davis, rather. And now trying to do a crossover here with D'Angelo Russell. So it's now 100-89. So the Cavs have made triple-digit numbers. So now Lauri Markkanen going to make that one in there. And it's now going to be 102-89. We're going to pass it over to some of Anthony Edwards. So there's now 17 seconds to go. We're going to knock down a 3. Actually, we don't make that possible. And now Cedi Osman has possession of the basketball. What is he going to do? Loses the basketball, and I don't think, well, passing it over to Anthony Edwards. Makes it from 3, but The Cavs have won game 2 of the NBA Finals, so the series is tied up even 1-1. 102-92 is the final score here in Cleveland. So the next 2 games will be played in Target Center in Minneapolis. All right, 37 points for Lauri Markkanen, 2 points, 3 assists. 2 dunks on the day, and 7 threes from behind the arc. He is your player of the game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kevin Love, 20 points, 4 assists, 1 steal on the day. Isaac Okoro had 10 points and all, 3 assists on the day, 1 dunk. Evan Mobley had 8 points, 1 rebound on the day, and 1 block. Anthony Edwards, 22 points, 1 assist, 1 steal on the day, 1 dunk for him. D'Angelo Russell, 18 points, 1 rebound, 9 assists on the day. He had 2 dunks for Russell. Beasley, 17 points, 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 dunk. Patrick Beverley, 9 points, 6 assists on the day, and had 1 dunk. Jaden McDaniel, 7 points and 3 assists. Jared Vanderbilt, 6 points and all, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 dunk. Taurean Prince had 5 points, 2 assists on the day, and he did have a dunk there. So that wraps it up. Cavaliers even this series out 1-1. I'd like to see a 6 or a 7 game series among these 2 teams, because it's been a really fun matchup so far. I mean, this may be only game 2, but it's going to get even more spicier throughout games 5, 6, and possibly even 7. So what I'm trying to say is, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.